Good afternoon to everyone from Helsinki. In this beautiful picture, you can see not only a nice construction yard, but you can also see a refinery in Kokkola, which is advancing every day. And it has been a great year, 23, because we have not only started the construction of this refinery, but we have also this year, Q4, started the construction of the mine and the concentrator. We are aiming to be the first one producing lithium hydroxide in Europe from its own ore. And our production ramp up is planned 25. Now, we are not only going to be the first ones in Europe, but we think that we are going to be the greenest one. We are very mindful of our production and product carbon footprint. And it's not only the technology we use, it's the energy we use, but it's also the traveling we have. It is an average of 3 days from Kokkola to travel to the continental Europe for our potential customers in Europe. And this makes the CO2 profile of our product outstanding against our peers. Here you can see where Kokkola and Kaustinen is located. You can see that it's on the west coast of Finland, and Kokkola is positioned extremely well because the refinery is going to be in the Kokkola Industrial Park, and there is a port next to this park. Now, the mines are only 60 kilometers from Kokkola, so it is a very good logistical connection between the port and the mines, and then from the port, as mentioned earlier, to continental Europe. Here we would like to show you a couple of milestones. You might know that Keliber Oy was established 2001. Sibanye-Stillwater acquired the original 30% stake 2021, and already 2022, through the option, this stake was increased to more than 50%. And again, 2023, it went over to 85% our ownership in Keliber. Then again, H1 2023, through a rights issue, Finnish Minerals Group increased their share to 20%, and Sibanye-Stillwater retaining about 80%. And that is the partnership that we have created together with Finnish Minerals Group, and it's working extremely well. Couple of key numbers still for you to remember. Mineral reserves, 8.2 million tons, grade 1.0%. And if we take mineral resources inclusive of mineral reserves, it's 14.5 million tons. And with our yearly capacity of production, 15,000 tons, this means a 16 years lifetime for the mine today. And we haven't committed yet our offtakes. We have plenty of excellent discussions with potential candidates. We know that our most potential customers are going to come from Europe. And we think also that the green aspect of our lithium hydroxide is very interesting for these customers. The total estimated updated capex is 656 million. And the majority of the funds, the capital, is going to be spent 23 to 25. And as you remember, the ramp up with external feed is 25, and towards the end of 26, we are going to ramp up to production with our own ore. With these updated numbers, our average estimated operating cost is 6,759 per ton. Thank you very much. Let's move now to geology. So over to you, Pentti.
Thank you, Mika. In this first slide, you can see nicely our spodumene pegmatite ore. You can see those greenish minerals in this photo, and they are those spodumene. All other minerals are quartz and feldspar, and also some muscovite micas. Lithium is a light element that occurs in different kind of geological formations. The most common are pegmatite-hosted deposits, and then continental brines, and other are those sedimentary and geothermal sources. And these pegmatite and sedimentary type of deposits can be extracted by conventional mining operation, and it helps a lot in planning and scheduling point of view. Brines type of deposits are based on pumping saline waters to the surface evaporation ponds, and they have quite low cost production, but quite large surface footprint as well. And if you think this Keliber lithium project, so we have that pegmatite-hosted spodumene pegmatite deposit, and spodumene is that lithium mineral in our lithium project. And it is having good grades in that ways, and also sedimentary type of deposit are also, if you think new reserves in future, so they are good potential for that way. Pegmatite and brine type also having process, that kind of proven processes already, and sedimentary and geothermal sources, those processes are still under development. Sibanye-Stillwater Keliber has reported as declared attributable mineral resources from 7 deposits, and they are Rapasaari, Syväjärvi, Länttä, Emmes, Tuoreetsaaret, Leviakangas, and Outovesi. And the total number for those mineral resources are that 14.5%. And if you think those open pit mineable mineral reserves, so they are associated with 4 deposits: Syväjärvi, Rapasaari, Outovesi, and Länttä. Over 90% of mineable open pit mineable reserves are held by 2 major deposits, Syväjärvi and Rapasaari. And these figures are based on that what is Sibanye-Stillwater shareholding in Keliber lithium project as at 31st December 2022. Sibanye-Stillwater Keliber lithium exploration is focused on Western Finland to here Central Österbottnia region, where we have 13 exploration permit areas covering about 60 square kilometers. And then we have also 29 application of exploration permits covering about 80 square kilometers. So Keliber is holding all significant known lithium deposits in Finland at the moment. This map in this slide, you can see 5 our drill targets during this year. Number 1 is that Rapasaari, number 2 Tuoreetsaaret, number 3 Syväjärvi, and then couple of greenfield exploration targets like Leviakangas East and Timmerpakka, numbers 4 and 5. In this map you can see nicely also that those very good local road network is already there. Those black lines and red lines are presenting those local roads. And you can see also here that Päiväneva concentrator location at the southern side of our major deposits. Sibanye-Stillwater Keliber is investing in accelerated exploration and especially drilling program. So during the latest years, we have had exploration budget between 1 and 2 million euros, and now we have during this year we have 4.5 million euros. And in the end of September this year, we were already drilled 23 kilometers, mainly to our major targets, Rapasaari, Syväjärvi, and Tuoreetsaaret. Tuoreetsaaret is our latest discovery. It was discovered 3 years ago between Rapasaari and Syväjärvi. We have mainly drilled shallow levels, first 200 meters below surface. And you can see the diagram below this slide, that amount of annual drilling. So it has been roughly 14 kilometers by year, but now we are having forecast for 30 kilometers in the end of this year. Sibanye-Stillwater Keliber has continued successful exploration in this our main area of interest. So we have got numerous excellent ore-grade lithium intercepts, and you can see this table of top 10 drilling intercepts, and you can see the downhole length of intercepts are up to 86 meters, and most of them are having that average grade about 1% lithium oxide. And deposit was also mentioned here, so Tuoreetsaaret and especially Tuoreetsaaret southern extension has returned quite nice, good, high-grade intercepts. And based on these preliminary results, a material increase in resources is anticipated. We are now updating our mineral resource estimate, and for 7 lithium deposits. So we are expected to have finalized this update work during next year. Thank you. And now I hand over to Markus Kivimäki for permitting items.
All right, thank you, Pentti. Now let's move forward to the permitting part. So Keliber project is in a good situation. It's well advanced with regard to the permitting, especially the key permits. And the key permits we consider being environmental permits and mining permits. For our first mine, that is Syväjärvi mine, we've had legally valid environmental permit and mining permit since the summer of 2021. Then moving to the right side to the chemical plant or refinery, which is currently, as we've heard earlier today, which is currently being constructed in the Kokkola Industrial Park. Here, the required environmental permit we received in 2022, and it became legally valid then in August. Then the third part, which is needed for the integrated operations, which is the concentrator to be built in Päiväneva area. That environmental permit was granted in December of 2022. There was an appeal, or actually 2 appeals, against the permit, and we are currently expecting the process in the administrative court to end during 2024. The permit did include an enforcement order, which allows and actually allowed us to proceed into construction despite of the appeals. Then, in addition, We have the mining permit for the Rapasaari mine, the second mine, which we are planning on taking online. That permit also has been appealed, and we expect the administrative court to provide a ruling already later this year. To conclude shortly, we've been successful in permitting, and we have been granted all the required key permits for the integrated operations. As said, 2 of these permits have been appealed, but we are confident that these appeals will not impact the planned ramp-up schedule. And then, Hannu, I think you will continue from the next slide onwards.
Thanks, Markus. And like I said, permits have been granted, and so like visible on the picture, and like said by Markus and Mika earlier, the construction has been started. It has been started already on the 7th of March this year, and by end of November we will reach the full height of the building. The picture there is some 3 weeks old, and you clearly see the progress, how we have advanced since the start. The ramp up will take place in mid-2025, and like mentioned on the bottom right corner, we will start the ramp up with third party, meaning external spodumene concentrate. This slide shows the entire process, integrated process from mine to concentrator. Those 2 process steps are on the upper row where the pictures are. After that, there is a truck transportation to lithium refinery, and in the one continuous process, the spodumene concentrate will be processed as a battery-grade lithium hydroxide. The good thing here is that from the mine to the concentrator, there is only a distance of 2 kilometers approximately, and from the concentrator to the lithium hydroxide refinery, 66 kilometers road transport. This all means cost-effective production, low CO2 emissions, and probably the most important thing, that we control the entire process, the quality from the mining to the concentrator and to lithium hydroxide refinery and to the customer of Keliber. We have selected soda pressure leaching technology as the lithium refinery process and process technology. The main benefits are low content of impurities like iron, and secondly, very important thing is inert and neutral side stream mineral residue. This is important topic because the lithium refinery will receive more than 200,000 tons input material in a year. We will deliver 15,000 tons to customers, and 200,000 tons is a side stream. And in case of soda pressure leaching, the side stream is pure sand, which can be used as a construction material. Then we go to the concentrator, where the construction start is now in November, and the construction time is a bit more than 2 years, so we start to ramp up the production in very early 2026. And next to concentrator, Sibanye-Stillwater mine, this is the mine number 1, and we will operate the Sibanye-Stillwater mine 4.5 years, and after that we will move to Rapasaari mine. In terms of capital expenditure, the Kokkola lithium refinery is the biggest one in the initial capex, and the concentrator is the mid one, and Sibanye-Stillwater mine with 9 million euro capex is the smallest. Here showing the full life time of the existing reserves, 16 years. Production start, like said, 2025, firstly with third-party concentrate, and then in 2026 we will start to use our own ore, high-quality ore, and since that we will have the integrated operation in use, and 15,000 tons battery-grade lithium hydroxide monohydrate is the production volume. And those two mines, Syväjärvi and Rapasaari, will last together 12 years, and like said by Pentti Grönholm, new exploration targets, for example, just in between of Syväjärvi and Rapasaari. Well, the fluctuation of annual production is between 14,000 and 16,000, so the 15,000 tons is not the maximum, and then the full cost curve is with the blue line, and the euro numbers are on the right-hand side in the chart. And the picture there on the right-hand side, it is something like 1.5 weeks old. Actually, it is week ago Friday, then we had the snowfall first time, and in this picture the construction is even more advanced than in the earlier one. So again, the operating costs 6,759, like mentioned by Mika, and then all sustaining cost, which is higher number 7,259. This includes then sustaining capital over the entire lifetime of 16 years, when we think that also the further mining development is included. The left-hand side is like the steady state situation once we reach that in 2029, 2030. And then it is time to move forward and go deeper into numbers, and I hand over to Rick.
Thank you, Hannu, and good afternoon also on my behalf. In my part of the presentation, I will be covering 3 topics. First, an overview of the taxes, royalties, and other mandatory cost elements as we have them in Finland. Then a brief overview of the capital profile of the Keliber project, and then finally a few words on the funding status where we are. So first, here we have a list of the main elements under the headline of taxes and royalties. Once Keliber becomes operational and profitable, the standard corporate income tax 20% will be applied on Keliber. On top of this, we also have a recently introduced mining mineral tax. Effectively, the feed into the concentrate will be taxed on the metallic content of the feed, and this will become relevant for Keliber in year 26 when we start the mining and concentrate the operations. Keliber will also pay compensation to the landowners to the extent that our operations are situated on properties which are not owned by Keliber itself. This is a relatively minor element for us, as Keliber owns majority of the land areas where we are having our mining operations. On the royalties, generally one could say that there are no royalties in Finland, at least not in the similar way as in other countries. But Keliber project will be paying a royalty to the government according to a separate agreement made in 2014, whereby Keliber gained the ownership and control of some of the key deposits where we are now planning to start operations. Capital profile. The initial investment in Keliber comprises of 3 main elements: the Syväjärvi open pit mine, the concentrator, and the lithium refinery. And this investment totals some 656 million. Majority of the CapEx outflow will occur this year and over the next 2.5 years. Please note that the CapEx outflow estimated for this year is some 100 million lower than we have previously communicated, and this is mainly due to later than anticipated start of construction at the concentrator site. Sustaining capital over the life of mine is some 104 million, and this includes mainly the opening up of new deposits and mine sites and expanding the tailings facilities, water management capacity, and also plant maintenance. Financing of the project is well advanced. We have 250 million of equity raised and paid in, and effectively this is now the funding that we are using to advance the project. The equity funding will be complemented with debt funding by early next year, and the working number for the debt facility is some 500 million. At the moment, we are in the process of evaluating all the different alternatives what we have for the debt funding, including considerations for a green loan. And now I will hand over to Sirpa.
Thank you, Riku. The environmental and social aspects in the Keliber lithium project have been considered and comprehensively assessed throughout the whole project. In the pictures present some of the examples of the actions we have taken, such as adjusting tailings and facilities engineering to protect the flying squirrel habitat, equipping our culverts with ledges for otters, winter feeding the golden eagle outside the mining area, and constructing new ponds for the moor frog. The project location is very beneficial. The mining areas and the concentrator are mainly at areas that are already used for commercial forestry and peat production. The lithium refinery is at the Kokkola Industrial Park, where the supplies and facilities needed are readily available. The soda leaching process itself is sulfate-free, and the side stream analcime sand can be utilized, for example, in the harbour area expansion. Our stakeholder work is systematic, it's open and regular. We keep close contact to local residents, landowners, and future employees, and are visible in various events, informing about our plans, and of course, receiving feedback. An example of our work is participating in local nature conservation projects, such as restoring spawning grounds for trouts near the mining areas. We strive for being the employer of choice by fostering a responsible, respecting, and safe work community. We promote diversity in recruiting and offer opportunities to professional development. The vocational schools and higher education institutes at the Central Ostrobothnia offer several programs in chemical engineering, business administration, and technology. We cooperate actively with them to ensure the availability of skilled employees in the future. And already at the early stages of the project, we have hired geology students as summer trainees. Some of them have later done their thesis work for the company and continued here as our co-workers. Thank you, and over to James.